questions not to ask is the next thing up here. I'm a public elementary school teacher. I teach hundreds of children every day, and they ask me all sorts of questions that maybe they shouldn't. And I think obviously you grow out of that as you grow older. You realize that some things aren't appropriate. Some people, for some reason, they don't like to talk about where they're from. Maybe they moved to Vietnam because their home life was not great. But I think if they don't tell you where they're from, just don't push it. And I asked some friends what the questions were that they would prefer not to be asked. And the number one question is always, are you married?
Sau đây một số câu hỏi mà người nước ngoài.
Yeah, so are you married it's a fine question to ask if you're curious. But following it up with, do you have a boyfriend, or why not, is not always the right thing to do. And I do get that, not only from my elementary school students, but sometimes from adults as well. I have no intention of getting married in the next 4 years. No way. I'm not interested. I don't want to. And I think that just the attitude towards marriage is very different now in the West than it is in Vietnam. And I like that there is this cultural difference. I think it's important, but also it can be hurtful to ask why you're not married, because it implies that there's something wrong. For example, if someone asks me, why am I not married? I say, because I broke up with my boyfriend and I moved to Vietnam. Which is true, but other people may have a different story and not be so open to talking about it. If you're going to ask someone, are you married, then I would suggest that you don't follow up with any questions about why not afterwards, because it can be insensitive. Yeah, that's the number one question, because I asked a group of my friends and they all said the same thing. I sometimes get asked questions about my hair. Fine, I don't care. But sometimes there are other comments about the way I look, and sometimes they're a bit too personal, I think. For example, a lot of my students, because they're this high and they don't know how to be nice, they say, "Teacher, you have a big nose." And I'm like, I know, I'm aware, I'm used to it. But if someone was to say something else similar to that, I could get offended.